Here with Jason Ryan, the Senior Vice President of Regulatory Services and Government Affairs at Centerpoint, Jeff Linder, who will provide a weather update, Mark Sloan, and Lori Christensen, who will provide an update from the Fire Marshal's office. I'll speak in English, then in Spanish, and then we'll hear from Mr. Ryan and the other folks. We all see the current situation. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We all see the current situation. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The next few days are going to be very tough. To those who have lost power, I know you are frustrated. I know you're miserable. I know you're uncomfortable. I know it is very miserable in this cold without heat. I can tell you that the families of many of the first responders who are here keeping you safe, who have been here all week, since last week, are also without power in their homes. Right now, 1 million homes and businesses out of the 2.6 million total served by Centerpoint in our region are out due to state ERCOT outages. Around 70,000 are out because of weather damage. Those 70,000, Centerpoint is working on restoring. Jason Ryan from Centerpoint is here, and he'll provide an update on the current situation. But the bottom line is that Centerpoint nor I can give you an estimate of when the power will come back on. And in fact, as much as we wish it weren't so, things will likely get worse before they get better. There's a high chance the power will be out for these folks until the weather gets better, which will not be for a couple of days. Currently, supply will come back for one or two reasons. One, the state can supply more power, or two, we all can conserve more power. I'm in touch with the state to figure this out, and I've stressed the need for more power generation. I share your frustration, but know that our state partners are aware of the seriousness of the situation, and they have assured my team that they're working to get that power generation back up. The forecast is also not great. In some ways, we're still close to the beginning of the incident. Jeff Linder will provide an update on that, but the key message is that in the next couple of days, we will be approaching record low temperatures, potentially the lowest in 150 years. We may be in for more winter weather over the past couple of days, even beyond that. I'll briefly go over some of what we're doing. We're in close contact with the state, as I mentioned, with federal partners as well, to make sure we're all coordinating and that we're receiving the resources they can offer us. Road and bridge crews from the county and our county commissioners have been out to try and make the roads safe, especially for first responders, as they're responding to life-threatening emergencies. The county's operating 10 warming centers right now and coordinating with the city warming centers and other warming centers throughout our region to take folks there who are facing a life-threatening issue. A brief update on vaccines. Very early this morning, around 2 in the morning, the Harris County Public Health Department building at 610 in San Felipe lost power, and its backup generator failed. At that location, we had 8,430 Moderna vaccines. With the power out, we all know those vaccines need to be kept in cold storage. So we got to work under the mission to avoid losing those vaccines with the loss of power. And we quickly put together a plan to allocate and to salvage them. We were looking for places where there was already large numbers of people, where there were nurses, trained medical professionals who could administer the vaccines, and where we wouldn't need folks to drive somewhere in this very dangerous weather and road conditions. The locations we identified are Ben Taub and LBJ hospitals, as well as Methodist hospitals, the county jail, and Rice University. Of the 8,430 vaccines, 5,410 were distributed as follows: 3,000 to the Harris County Jail, 600 to LBJ Hospital, 1,000 to Methodist Hospital, 810 to Rice University. The 600 is to LBJ Hospital and Bentob Hospital combined. 3,020, about half, are being stored, and here's why. After we began this process, we received some good news from Moderna. We'd been in touch with Moderna to try and get very specific instructions, and they gave us updated guidance specific to us that the vaccine supply we thought we were going to lose in a few hours, we could actually re-refrigerate and administer later to our wait list. So roughly half, or 5,000, right over 5,000 of the vaccines have been distributed, and the rest have been put back in storage for distribution per our normal process. I want to thank Moderna, DSHS, the State Health Services, our Fire Marshal's Office, and of course our Harris County Public Health Department. They sprung into action to get this done and help us administer the vaccines before they spoiled. A thank you also to the staff at Methodist, Bentob, LBJ, leaders at Rice University, the jail, for quickly assembling and getting these shots into arms so that we're protecting every single shot. What you should do. The first message is please continue to stay off the roads. From what we're seeing, people are doing a great job at that. We've had some accidents, but the first responders are amazed at how limited that number has been. We really haven't had a major accidents, but rather contained accidents. The first responders I'm surrounded by are thankful to you for helping do your part. They're making sure that people with life-threatening emergencies can safely get to where they need to be. We've not yet seen a fatality in unincorporated Harris County, at least due to the traffic conditions, so that's good news. It's incredible, but we are not out of this, so please continue to help us in that way. The other area where we've seen surprisingly few incidents is we've not seen but a couple of incidents perhaps and of issues where carbon monoxide becomes a problem. We talked about if you are without power, make sure you're staying warm, but do not bring in outdoor grills or outdoor materials because then you have the risk of fires and poisoning. Folks have been heeding that advice, and we need folks to continue heeding that advice. We do have a couple reports of fires, a couple reports of folks who did bring in a stove, but it's very limited. Let's keep it that way. So please make sure if you have a grill, that you use that outside. If you run your car to stay warm, make sure you do it in the driveway and not inside the garage. Let me touch briefly on water and what you can do when it comes to water. There are reports of low water pressure, water loss at homes. That's possible because pipes could burst inside your home, but also because of the cold weather. And as it gets even colder tonight and tomorrow, there is a high possibility that these pipes, equipment, all of these systems could break closer to the main, where it's outside of your control, outside of your home. And so if you still have water, and if you haven't already, make sure that you store enough water for your family for the next few days. I'll close on the topic of power again. While getting the power restored to our community right now is out of our hands, my hands, your hands, the state is working hard on it. There is something you can do to help ensure that more people's power doesn't have to be cut. When it comes to power, conservation is the key. That can help us start to pull out of this. So if you do have power right now, please run your thermostat down to 68 or lower. Just wear a fleece. If you can make it colder, that helps. It helps reduce the pressure in the system. We want everyone to do their part to maintain the power grid, which is very strained. Check on your neighbors. Every one of us is first responders in this kind of dangerous situation, so make sure you do your part. And for folks without power, stay warm. Select a room in your home that's going to be the room that stays warm. Cover areas where drafts of air may be coming in. Wear blankets, clothes. Make sure you put all the folks in your household in that room. And please do not go outside. The safest place to be is in your home, where you're covered from the elements. So make sure you do staying inside this, it's still going to be a while. I understand the frustration. It's an awful situation. So we're asking folks to persevere. Now, if you have issues where you're losing sensation in your limbs, where you're feeling lightheaded, any sign of hypothermia, call 911. Call 911. And that is what we need 911 for. We've got, as you know, over a million people without power in this weather. We cannot move a million people into another location. In fact, other locations, more locations are likely to lose power. So folks may go somewhere else and that new place might lose power overnight. So what we need you to do is stay put, stay warm, get through this, and you know yourself, you know your body. If you feel you're in a life-threatening situation, that's when we need you to call 911. So we'll pull through this just as we do with other disasters. I'm not going to pretend it's not going to be a tough night. We're going to be here. We're going to be up, watching, responding to crises that come up. And let's get through this together. I'll repeat the remarks in Spanish.